I expect this to be quite a high-level game. We've got the already qualified SnipedAgain against the professional card game player already, Terrence. He's played card games for 13 years. That's over half his life already.
No joke. So we're going to be headed into the game, and we have a Rogue Mirror match for Game 1.
Yep, Miracle Rogue versus Miracle Rogue. In fact, of course, Miracle Rogue being the type of deck which is just going to try to draw a bunch of cards and kill with Leroy and Shadow Step and etc. We're looking at Terrence's hand first. He's got Azure Drake and Lotheb. His experience tells him to keep Lotheb in this matchup. A good call.
I really like both of those 5-drops in this matchup. And the 5-drop minions are really, really powerful when you have the coin, because you get to leapfrog your opponent and play one on turn 4.
That's right. SnipedAgain has managed to get at least one good card, Azure Drake. The other 3 are duds currently, but hopefully he's going to be able to find some things to play in the meantime.
Some really quick turns taken here at first, not much going on. SnipedAgain does have those 2 preps, and those are what you were talking about. They're blanks right now. If he ever draws Gadgets and Auctioneer, it will turn into real value.
Yes.
Pure value, even, you might say.
TerrenceM picks up Preparation. He's going to have an interesting line going forward, since he has Edwin Van Cleef and the coin and Preparation and a spell.
He decided not to use his coin to play a turn 2 Edwin 4/4, which I understand. He's going to hold on to it for later. It's one way that you can gain the initiative in this matchup, but usually you want to do it with the 5-drops.
Fan and Knives cycled by Snipe. Terrence plays the Deadly, and he's going to coin Edwin. That's pretty strong.
Oh,
6/6.
So he does want to use the coin for the Edwin, which now it's not just a 4/4, it's a 6/6 that represents even more resources that his opponent will have to throw into it if they really want to kill it.
That's right. And I like the 6/6 quite a bit more than the 4/4 since it plays around Eviscerate. Doesn't play around Sap, but plays around Eviscerate, which is the important part. When sapped, Edwin Van Cleef can come back stronger than ever before.
Yeah, so if your opponent saps your Edwin on turn 3, turn 4, would you be willing to use your Shadow Step to play it again as a 6/6?
That's an interesting line. I think it is worth considering. He just plays the SI7 agent, but I like your saucy play there, Reels.
I would have at least considered it, but Shadow Step is really, really powerful once you do draw Leroy,
right.
So he holds on to it.
Wow, SnipedAgain has drawn into a really good hand. What looked like a dud hand at first has played Azure Drake into Gadget Zan with 2 preparations in hand.
Gadget Zan is a huge draw. Terrence, he's got a sap, he's got 5-drops, so he's got a lot of play, but he's going to have to be facing down that Auctioneer before he knows it.
That's right. He's got 2 major lines of play here. One is going to be to clear the Azure Drake, and then perhaps play his own Azure Drake. The other is going to be the sap, and then perhaps develop Edwin through some means.
Now, considering you don't have in hand an Auctioneer of your own, how willing would you be in this situation to do something like play Azure Drake and use your preparation to Blade Flurry to have all 7 power in play with the initiative?
Huh. Interesting play.
It looks like he's going to decide to do Lotheb instead.
I'm not sure about this. I like saving the Lotheb myself until after the Gadget Zan has been played.
Yeah. Now, the Gadget Zan would have gotten a lot the turn it was played because he does have double prep. So he's taking away that play right now, but SnipedAgain does have a good play. We're going to flip back to him.
Yeah, I mean, Terrence also had the opportunity to kill off the Azure Drake. Looks like he has chosen not to, though.
Yeah, he's got Azure Drake number 2 here. So he does have a strong play into the Lotheb turn.
Yeah, that is a really good play from SnipedAgain, and TerrenceM going to be like, I didn't manage to stop anything.
This is going to leave his Auctioneer wide open the turn after. So he just takes out the 3/3, leaves his minion in play.
Oh, TerrenceM draws his own Auctioneer. Doesn't have to conceal yet, which is the key card that he wants to play with it. So he's going to try to hold off for a bit, play his own Azure Drake. Ooh.
And another preparation. That's actually good news considering he did draw the Auctioneer. And it looks like he's going to make the play that I was considering last turn, and it's still going to be good this turn.
Yeah, even better this time. Takes out 2 Azure Drakes instead of just 1. And that's going to be a lot of damage, even. That's just going to be a lot of damage with just a simple Lotheb.
It's a huge amount of damage, and he still has that Shadow Step in play. He did not decide to use it earlier.
Snipe manages to draw the Conceal, and he's going off with this Auctioneer on this turn. However, he's got to feel a lot of pressure considering he's at 15 health.
I wonder if he'll decide to do something like prep sap that 5/5, how worried he'll be about that damage coming in, because it will let his opponent replay the Loetheb, but maybe he's willing to let that happen. He decides he's even going to backstab his own guy. So he's just really digging hard as he can for as much damage as possible. He realizes he's at 15 and he needs to turn around the game.
That's right.
Starting soon.
And I think the sap on the Loetheb is an excellent call, because otherwise you die to something like Leroy plus a 4 damage spell, which is commonplace.
Yeah, I agree. At 15, you can't leave 5 in play. So he decides to sap it. That does mean his opponent will be able to replay it, but at least Auctioneer is concealed, so it's not going to get eviscerated, it's not going to get sapped.
Right, if there's one thing that was a bit risky, it would be backstabbing, because it leaves him open to something like Blood Mage Thalmos, Fan of Knives, or Blood Mage Thalmos, Blade Flurry, or Azure Drake Blade Flurry. But he's taking the chance because he feels like he's up against the wall, and pays off for him.
Yeah, Terrence makes the play, Loetheb go. So now SnipedAgain, he's got a Loetheb of his own, and he's going to play. Now, he's going to have 2 large minions in play to his opponent's none, but he is at 14.
Yeah, I mean, sapping a Loetheb definitely hurts.
Draws Shiv. So if you're playing in TerrenceM's shoes, what would some of your considerations be here?
Unfortunately, can't play the Gadgets, and I mean, based on the Loetheb being played, his options are actually quite limited, so it looks like it is going to be Earthen Ring, and then perhaps Edwin Van Cleef as just a 4/4.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably what he's going to do. I think you're right. We'll see how he decides to play it. Going back up to 29 is good, but his opponent does very much have the initiative going into the next turn.
He does. Terrence M is going to be counting on that Gadgets and Auctioneer, being able to draw into Leroy to finish him off. You don't even really need Leroy considering your opponent's at 13. But he's basically looking for a 2-turn win. And we're going to see if SnipedAgain manages to win in less than 2 turns, which may seem incredible because Terrence M is at 29 health, but he does have the Leroy and 2 Shadow Steps in his hand. And he's got a really good board, and he's going to be able to clear Terrence's board. Ooh, I'm surprised at the no... Oh, I see. Nice. Locking down Terrence M with the Loetheb.
It's actually a really, really interesting play. He decides to use one of his Shadow Steps. He realizes that next turn he probably doesn't need both Shadow Steps with Leroy. He just needs the one in order to kill him, assuming his opponent can't do anything crazy. And if he's locked into just playing minions, this could be the game right here.
Right, that's a really good call. And one of the things, when you're watching and being able to see both hands, you don't quite realize how important it is to do the Shadow Step, because for all SnipedAgain knows and probably predicts, Terrence M might have had the kill in his hand. So he manages to block it. Terrence M didn't have the kill. It was actually 1 turn behind on the plan. But this is really going to lock up the game for SnipedAgain, showing a really good mastery of Miracle Rogue here.
That was really, really strong play. I'm actually really impressed by how he set up those turns and how he played just enough defense, but still was able to turn the game around.
Sap goes on the SI7. Terrence is like, I really don't want to get that Loetheb again.
So now there's, I believe, 9 damage showing into 23. So I believe he has enough damage just to win. I didn't count it out, but I'm sure SnipedAgain has.
Right. All he needs is 12, which is the Leroy and the Shadow Step, and that's good. In fact, I believe he's something like 6 over. So congratulations, SnipedAgain. A very masterful display of Miracle Rogue against Miracle Rogue.
Yep. If you are working on your Miracle Rogue play, I hope you took notes this game. SnipedAgain. Easy. Too easy.
Hey, that wasn't easy, SnipedAgain.
No, it wasn't easy at all, but he made it look easy.
There was an opportunity, like, I think if Terrence had some set of cards for him to finish off that 12, but SnipedAgain really locked it up as much as possible.